On this episode of Disco Life, we do a inline thermostat mod.
Let me tell you about the 100 subscriber goal. When we reach 100 subscribers, we will make a fails compilation video. Thank you to anybody who has already subscribed to help us reach our goal, and if you're just passing by, then please consider subscribing.
So when we first got the Disco and I started posting online in different forums about how to fix it and things like that, one of the first things everyone always came back and said was, you have to do this inline thermostat mod. There's a nice sticky in the forum. We'll post that link below. The sticky really went through and showed how there was a flaw in the design, at least in a lot of people's opinions, of how the thermostat worked. First off, it's a 190 degree thermostat, so it doesn't even start to open until 190 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's really kind of inefficient. It's too high. So the first kind of major thing is it just replaces it with a 180 degree thermostat. I decided to go ahead with this inline thermostat mod because I really wanted to make sure the truck stayed cool so that we can help avoid doing any head gaskets as best as possible. Alright, so we're just assessing that this is open, and you can kind of see through it. That's what we're talking about with opening. So it should close now that I've taken it out, ever so slowly as it cools down. Yeah, you can see it starting to close. There it is, closed. But hey, Nate, what do you think, man?
So it definitely works, at least to some extent, but apparently our electric kettle doesn't work as well as we thought it did, so.
Yeah, we've got that figured out. So next time we make tea, we're gonna have to adjust our temperatures.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll work on getting some gasket sealer and getting this all put together so we can put our inline mod in. It's gonna be fun. Is we're going to be following this modification style. So we're going to take this Allen bolt out, we're going to put some of this thread sealer on it, we're going to thread it back in, and then we're going to house everything so that basically there's a gasket, a thermostat, and then yeah, it's going to kind of be sandwiched like
Sandwich.
this.
It's a ham and cheese sandwich.
And then we're gonna bolt it back together with a ton of sealant in there using these bolts, and we're just gonna crank it down kind of like hand tight today because it needs about 24 hours to cure before we crank it down all the way. So that's the plan for right now. So I can't get that out, the port right there, for whatever reason I can't do it. I haven't heated it up. That's something I could try.
Maybe
But I'm just gonna send a message to the guy who makes this and just see if he's already sealed it. I doubt he has. We'll have to figure something out, or what he thinks. But I want to, just check with him before I kind of start trying to figure this out. Walk through it. So, you saw me struggling last night. Just wasn't able to get enough of a grip.
I contacted the guy who sold this and who kind of developed this inline mod, and he said he always uses a bench vise. So needless to say, I don't have a bench vise at the moment. So what I ended up doing, and was his suggestion as well, was I ended up using a pipe, ended up being the end of a broomstick. I kind of put the assembly together without the gaskets and the thermostat, stuck the broomstick in one end, and that was allowed me to get enough torque and everything on it to do the job. Full transparency, I'm following what's going. This modification was described online. You know, people used to do it kind of like they heard about it and were mechanically inclined enough to figure it out by themselves on how to do this. But then the guy who kind of figured it out, at least on the forums, or on the forum, he got a sticky thread put up by the mods, and so I'm just basically following his protocol here. The idea is to kind of let the silicone harden for anywhere from 4 to 24 hours. And then once that happens, you want to crank it down to the specified torque using a torque wrench. That's how we're going to set it. And we're going to let this dry. We're going to let it dry overnight. Won't be quite 24 hours. I think we're going to try to do the system in the morning.
When it's not too hot out.
This whole hose is apart, so I don't know what it is. You can see right in here there's some black stuff, looks like chunks of plastic. I'm guessing from the hoses kind of down in there in the thermostat. That could certainly cause some problems. So here's the old hoses. This is the new hoses that I got. This is from Lucky 8. You can see they're the same. The difference is this clamp. This clamp is not made to come off. These are. I don't know how to get these off. I don't know if there's any easy way. It doesn't look like it. So that's going to be a problem because we want to do this inline thermostat modification. I was looking at these hoses to see if these could be used, but really, you know, if you look at this hose here, this is one of the hoses we're going to need. Rubber's flaking off on the inside. It's just really in bad shape. So I think this hose is done. So I gotta figure out where I can, you know, I'm gonna contact Lucky 8, see what they can tell me. Figure that out. Alright, so let me show you what I've been working on. So this is the T-stat, or the T-spot that comes with the normal hose that goes on top of everything. These clamps were on here. These clamps are difficult. They're really thick, as hopefully you can see there. There was really no easy way to get them off. What I ended up doing was taking a nail file and or a metal file, sorry, and just filing it down until it finally just split. Because I needed to try to protect the hose as much as I could. There's a bulge in the T, and it just does not want to go over top of it because it's. Once it gets over, see, now I can pull this off. This is super. You can see how thick it is. It's super if you never want these hoses to come apart or come off.
The only problem is that we kind of do.
Yeah. So if you don't have a set of these things, which are pulls, hose tools, go out and get some. I had to. That was really the only way I could get the heater core hoses out. And then they're showing themselves to be like even extra useful here. So that's off. Basically this is going to end up going like this in here, and then this hose is going to wrap around and come into this like so. Something's gonna have to get it. There's not too much. That more line here. I'm gonna cut this hose so you can sit basically right there on top of that shroud. I'm gonna try it.
So it turns out that we need to put a little bit of the fan again, or not the fan, the hose again.
I don't think it's that. I think I need to angle this more.
Ah, okay.
I think angle. It almost looks like I need to cut this just a tad.
Like the smallest of bits. Video game known as Fortnite, and also a lot of other video games that basically copy Fortnite. But
Fortnite copy them. There's a little debate on that personally.
most of them came after Fortnite, so I presume that you were copying them, but
Okay, I think everything in the cooling system is back together.
she's back online, folks.
We didn't do a whole lot of temperature monitoring before we got the inline thermostat, so it's hard to know. When we were testing it a little bit, it was idling around 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot, but it's not like hot enough to cause damage. You need to go a little hotter than that. After we've done the inline mod, it's way better. It idles, for the most part, around 180. And it can definitely, go higher if you sit for longer in direct sun, but especially when we're driving, it rarely gets above 180. It will fluctuate. It's really fun to see the thermostat in and of itself working, because the temperatures will go up to like 186 and then they just start dropping, and it goes to like 175, and it just kind of keeps doing this in this one temperature range. And it's great because you see where the thermostat opens and that coolant comes through and it gets cool, and everything works out really well.
Don't drop the screwdriver like you did last time.
Thanks for the help.